This is a New York Times. U.S. officials repeatedly urged China to help avert war in Ukraine. I feel like this headline has changed. But let me just read a couple paragraphs here. Over 3 months, senior Biden administration officials held half a dozen urgent meetings with top Chinese officials in which the Americans presented intelligence showing Russia's troop building up around Ukraine and beseeched the Chinese to tell Russia not to invade, according to U.S. officials. Again, this is like it's like a high school drama playing out right before our eyes. Each time, the Chinese officials, including the foreign minister and the ambassador to the United States, rebuffed the Americans, saying that they did not think an invasion was in the works. After one diplomatic exchange in December, U.S. officials got intelligence showing Beijing had shared the information with Moscow, telling the Russians that the United States was trying to sow discord and that China would not try to impede Russian plans and actions, the official said. The previously unreported talks between American and Chinese officials show how the Biden administration tried to use intelligence findings and diplomacy to persuade a superpower it views as a growing adversary to stop the invasion of Ukraine, and how the nation led by President Xi Jinping persistently sided with Russia, even as the evidence of Moscow's plan for a military offensive grew over the winter.
Yeah, this is just sort of anti-China propaganda, basically.
Yeah.
Again, not that it's untrue, but they actually thought that they could ask Xi to like tell, yo, Xi, tell your boy to step off. Tell your boy to settle down, man. It's like, oh, I'm not his dad, man. I can't tell you. I can't tell him what to do. China benefits from this probably more than anybody, probably more than Putin, more than, I mean, for years now, the U.S. has been focusing, when you talk about military power and presence of the U.S., we've been shifting focus to Asia for years. Especially in our naval capacities. We've pretty much had our strongest naval presence in the Pacific and stationed around Asia. And it's pretty interesting because that's one of the slowest military, presences that is. It's the slowest to move around. It's the slowest to get from one part of the world to the other.
Right.
It's very difficult to do. We had our naval buildup in the Pacific for years now, and suddenly we do have very little naval capabilities in Europe. Not none, and nothing that is really a problem. But this is a great distraction. If anything, this is a wonderful distraction for China to pull some attention away from them as far as naval capacity in the Pacific, because, how great would it be if the U.S. Thinned out their naval fleet in the Pacific to go respond to this, which they probably won't do. Yeah. But then it would open up an opportunity for China to get into Taiwan.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought too. It's kind of an ability for, I can see China playing this.
They definitely have a long-term thing.
Yeah. Well, we've known this about the elite and people in China, this is generational. But there's a conquest sort of promise family type of thing going on. And I guess they act on it at certain points. But
it's funny because it's like, Xi, tell your boy to settle down. And Xi's like, this was my idea. Why would I tell him to? What are you talking about? So I think this is mainly just propaganda, which is effective propaganda, I think, because it's helping people remember China exists and not to get too caught up in Ukraine. But there's always something behind it.